There's Patrick Templeman. What a year he has had. The leading point scorer. Just need 3 points to tick over the 300 for the year. Quite extraordinary. #1 in try assists, #1 in line break assists. You don't often say that when you're talking about a fullback, but that is how the game has changed.
Such a calm and composed young figure in this competition, and no doubt he will be needed in those big moments today. Mark, I'm really looking forward to the matchup. I might be biased, but the two hookers here, young Carter, a very tough, quality young footballer, and also, as we mentioned in the pre-game, Havili, who's been outstanding for the Warriors.
David Munro and Adam G, our referees, getting us underway. And they're also refereeing for a grand final next week as Seo has a hit up. He's up towards the 30. Havili goes into acting half. James Taylor, been very impressed with James Taylor in recent weeks. He and Albert Vitae were outstanding last week for the Warriors, but Taylor in the beaten side against the Dragons and the week before against South was great as well. The 61 metres he picked up last week. There's Barner. Havili almost overrunning the support of Vitae. Good set to start the game here for the Warriors. Mason Lino into the corner. Silla with an awkward bounce and got the hand there, but good kick and good chase, good start.
Great opening set, yeah, great opening set there from the Warriors, nice and controlled, using their big man to get through the middle part of the field. And a nice little kick there from Lino, right into the corner, in behind Silla, turning the big man around as we see the Bulldogs look to move the football.
The only problem is there's no one out there. And that's the front rower. Perrott playing it, just shy of the 20. Now Elliott through the hands there of Feeney. Fuka playing it. Carter, Perrott in the middle of the park. Line short of halfway. Templeman from outside the 40, not looking for 40-20. Was a two-up over the 20. And there's the defence waiting for him. Around the legs was Jalen Feeney and Matthew Fuka up high. It's not a bad set either from the Bulldogs, but didn't make as many metres as the Warriors, and now they give away a penalty.
13 over the top, boys.
Jack Creighton penalised.
Very interesting to look at the two contrasting game plans already. I know both sides have only traded one set apiece, but the Warriors really looking to use their big men and get down through that middle third of the field, while the Bulldogs already looking to try and move this big Warriors side around by going a little bit of 2-pass, 3-pass football, trying to move this big and tire this big Warriors forward pack. It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out.
Tuamavava Gerard with the tap and stepped around the tackle of Elliott. They're 10 away here, the Warriors. Vitae with support. Seo hit well over the top by Lloyd Perrott. They're 5 away now here, the Warriors. Lolo here, he's just dropped it. He went to pass it. I don't see that happen too often. He just lost the football. And they get out of jail there, Canterbury. Carter out of acting half. Vargas, big front rower. Creighton, nice step and then across the shoulder. He looked up at the referee, thought it was a bit high. Carter, now Graham to the line, and Moses Mbai was there, but he just couldn't get the arm free. Never set here from Canterbury. Templeman, now Feeney. High kick, an early tackle. Pressure here for Fusatua and gets away from Feeney, but falls at the feet. The chasing Vargas. Interesting to put the kick on tackle 4.
Yeah, definitely going to the air there, trying to test Fusatua. But he was very good under the high ball there. Much better set there from the Bulldogs. Plenty of leg speed. Their big men winding up, challenging the Warriors forward pack as we see the old mousetrap play come out there. Haven't seen one of those for a while.
Hooker time. Important set defensively here for Canterbury. They haven't been able to stop the roll here at the Warriors as Taylor will be tackled inside the 40. That's the best set defensively Canterbury's had. Havili looking for 40-20 off the head there of Carter. A little bit of misfortune there for the Warriors, and a good break for Canterbury. We'll have them starting this set just shy of the halfway line.
They'll be disappointed with that, the Warriors. They needed a better end-of-set kick there. Obviously, the Bulldogs very good defensively, as we see Lane with a good, strong carry through the middle, looking for work.
Good run from the back rower. Short side. Ryan, by. Nice tackle. Chopped him down. Until Hukatai. Here's Perrott. Runs at Barner, who slows him down and gets some assistance to stop him. Vitae, another one of the defenders. Quick play, the ball, last tackle. Mbai behind Carter. They're going to check this, but he's short anyway. I think if he scores the try, they may have checked it anyway. But Moses Mbai tackled right on the goal line. It's not a bad end of the set in that respect for Canterbury, but I think they lost track of where they were in regards to the tackle count.
Yeah, certainly a chance in their arm on the last play there, but what about the tackle from young Taylor right on the try line? Mbai very strong, close to the try line. It's a wonderful tackle from the front row, and now the Warriors get the opportunity to get themselves out of trouble.
Very important for Canterbury not to give a penalty away here and try and force the Warriors to do that. Play a little bit of footy. Vitae. He's the leading offloader for the Warriors and ranked 7th in the Holden Cup with 43 offloads for the year as Sio is tackled. Here's Vitae again. Carter over the top of him. Arm free, knocked down, play on. Lenore, Barner with him. And Barner was covered there by Graham, but gets away from Templeman. And the Warriors are 15 metres away. Vitae at first receiver. Lolo here. Now it comes to Faitala Mariner, a yawning gap. What happened there from Canterbury defensively? And Richard Faitala Mariner scores the first try. He may have got the credit for the 4 points, but it started back down the park.
Yeah, dead right, Mark. It started way downfield when Vitae goes straight over the top of Carter there and gets his arm free, and Lee pushing through. The ball was knocked down from Lane, so it was play on. Templeton did very well here to hang on to Lee. And then from the next play, the Warriors moved the ball. A couple of long passes. And the back row, well, you see, as you said, Mark, a yawning gap there. The Bulldogs' defensive line was just pulled apart from the play before and was unable to recover.
John Sealer's got to go for someone.
And he's just, yeah, young Sealer's come up there and ahead of the line and left them by all on his own. And that was try time then for the Warriors, and they get the opening points in this game. And at the moment, it's a frantic pace from both sides. Both sides trading blows either way as we see Lee line up the kick. But the Warriors, again, through that forward pack, Mark, where they're so good and so strong, through that middle third of the field, support, short passes, it can cause sides all sorts of problems.
So Mason Lenore, 9 from 10 last weekend against the Roosters. A few of those were adjacent to the uprights, and this is a nice one for a right foot round the corner kicker to have early. See if the radar's working, but what an impressive start from the Warriors. Here's the 2. So 6 points to 0. The Warriors, the start they are after. And ironically, Mick, these two teams, the last 6 times they've played, on 3 of those occasions, it's been in this match, the preliminary final. You don't see that too often. So they know what it's like to play each other in an important game. And that set started on their own goal line with a handover from the Bulldogs. Makes it even more impressive. Vitae.
I'm sure it's certainly something they've spoken about all week. Andrew Padmore talking about containing this forward pack of the Warriors, and as you mentioned, Vitae there through the middle was just so strong, and barnstormed through the middle. And again, we see Taylor carrying the ball well over the advantage line, and the Bulldogs really need to tighten up through their ruck defence.
Havili, Barner. shy of the 40. Taylor. There's the last. What a good set after points here from the Warriors. Lenore once again kicking into the corner. Templeman will hope it goes dead, but it's not going to. This will be good if he gets out of here. There's no way he can. What a great set there from the Warriors after points. Terrific kick from Mason Lenore. And Patrick Templeman, there was nothing he could do.
Absolutely nothing there that Templeton can do. The ball just sat up. It was a horrible bounce for him. He jinked and played around with it, but he was very safe there. But you said, Mark, what a great set after points. So often we talk about it, and the Warriors just perfected that. Big guys rolling over the advantage line, Havili bringing them onto the ball, and then a nice little kick from Lino, well weighted again. Obviously kicking in behind Silla here. It's twice he's done that now with great succession.
So inside the 30 go the Warriors again. Vitae will play it. Seo, the offload knocked on here by Canterbury. The tackle count will restart. Lawlaw here will play it. 20 out. 0 tackle. Havili with the back turn by Vargas, and Havili will score the try. Well, the Bulldogs fell asleep. Josh Vargas just had his back turn, and the man that's made such a difference in the last few weeks for the Warriors, Saliva Havili, scores the try.
As you said, there's Vargas just come out of the tackle a bit dusty, and we spoke about in the pre-game, you're going to need to be good in the ruck because Havili, who's come back from the New South Wales Cup, has been absolutely outstanding in the last few weeks in this dummy half role. He's big and he's strong, and he'll take every opportunity when there's either a man down or a marker not square. And again, we see him perfecting that. And what a wonderful try, and the Warriors with all the momentum at the moment.
Just his 5th game of the year in the under-20s. He's been playing for the Vulcans in the New South Wales Cup. That is his 25th career try, or 26th career try, which moves him to number 4 all-time for the Warriors. And what a remarkable turnaround it's been for the Warriors when you consider when we were down at Wollongong and they got lapped by the Dragons and they were poor in the first half against Souths. In that game and a half, they were outscored 62 points to 8. Since then, they've outscored their opponents by 84 points to 10.
That's the thing with this Warriors side, and John Ackland, I'm sure would agree that over the years that he's coached them, he's got such talent in the roster that sometimes at that back end of the season, they probably know what they're capable of coming into September, and probably just took the foot off the pedal. We see here the momentum all with them as Lino comes in, strikes it straight between the posts again. They are a side with such strike power right across the park. As we see Matt Elliott there, the first grade coach of the Warriors, with no doubt keeping a close eye on plenty of these young guns.
Looks happy.
They, at the moment, the Bulldogs really need to tighten up through their middle defence because they're just getting overpowered by the Warriors. When they've got the football, the Bulldogs, they look very good. And no doubt, if they can get a turn of possession, they'll be right in this game, but they've got to stop this momentum. That's what can happen with these situations. The Warriors playing last week and building all that confidence, the Dogs with the week off sometimes can start a little bit flat.
Well, here's the difference as well, Mick. Mason Lenore gets the repeat set with a kick into the in-goal area. The Bulldogs had an opportunity down here to do the same, but didn't kick it. Hand over, and since then they haven't touched the footy. And here they go again. Tuamavavi Gerard. Ball back on the inside. It comes to Lawlaw here. Lawlaw here beats a couple. Runs over the top of another. Still going Lawlaw here. That is Viliami Lawlaw here, is only a metre away. Now Vitae is close. Terrific tackle. I think it was Graham. Jalen Graham came off the line. Lenore very deep. Now it comes to Faitala Mariner. Offloading through their hands for the corner goes Lasati. He gets it down. The Warriors have scored 3 in a row. And the Bulldogs haven't touched the footy.
And again, Mark, it was a Havili all the way downfield, getting out of dummy half. Off the back of a quick play, the ball gets the offload. He beats about 3 or 4 players there, gets a lovely offload, lovely footwork there. And Lawlaw here comes on the inside here and just powers through. I all but thought he was going to score here. Templeton did a great job there to try and hang on, but again, it was Graham here, makes the tackle here on on this short pass, and then we see Lino, early pass. The Warriors, again, another offload.
He had some work to do, Masadi, didn't he?
He had a lot of work to do. It's a great try.
And Mick, going back to my point, the fact that the Dogs turn over a metre out from the line when Moses and Bai almost scored, but they lost, I think they lost track of the tackle count. They didn't roll it into the in-goal area. Now we're going to have time off because Mason Lino had gone AWOL. He's finally arrived to take the kick at goal. 19 minutes he spent last week kicking his goals. Out of the 80 minutes, 19 minutes of it was Mason Lino kicking shots at goal.
The thing with the Warriors, if you give them enough football, especially this talented group that they've got, they will capitalise and they will score points really quickly, and we're seeing that at the moment. You're right, Mark. The Bulldogs have got to get themselves back into a shared possession to give themselves a shot in this game. But at the moment, the Warriors are doing everything right, absolutely everything right, but they're just at the moment too big, too powerful. They're offloading and they're just playing footy on the back of it, and that ad-lib type of football suits them down to the ground.
And 2 changes are being made here by the Dogs. It looks like Jack Creighton and Josh Vargas are coming from the field. Most points conceded by Canterbury since round 18 in the first 20 minutes. Round 2 in the first 20 minutes. They conceded 18 in the second round against Parramatta. Not a time to do it, Mick. In the first 20 minutes of the preliminary final against a team that loves getting on a roll. And Mason Lino misses that one. But they haven't touched the footy, the Bulldogs, since Moses Mbai
since that time
handed over a metre out from the Warriors line.
Well, at the moment, the Warriors are all but carrying the ball nearly 70, 80 metres a set, and Lino sitting on the back of it, putting the ball wherever he needs to. They've got to get control of this play-the-ball speed if they're going to get themselves back into the game here to the Bulldogs. They've got the strike. They just need to earn the right to get their even share of possession back.
18 missed tackles and now a penalty. It's almost worth a challenge from Moses Mbai, just to try and hope that we can change it.
Dave,
got a challenge.
Got a challenge, yes. Challenge.
Moses is not sure, but Blake Carter.
Definite challenge?
Yeah, challenge.
Moses,
Moses,
you're challenging? You're challenging. Okay, Mel, can you please challenge the decision? Live decision is a strip.
Paul Mellor, video referee.
I'll tell you with this, Mark, whether or not this works for the Bulldogs, it's not a bad ploy because it is slowing the momentum of the game. They'll get a breather.
I think he's just lost that.
Well,
what do you think? I think it's a poor carry. There may have been a hand there, but I don't think it was stripped. He's just taking his hand out. Look, it's a massive call. What do you reckon?
Well, I don't think Perrett's deliberately stripping the ball. He's not even looking at the ball, but his hand's in around the play of the ball, so...
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, boys. Decision is overruled.
There you go, Mark.
Overruled.
Lost ball.
It's going to be a knock-on. Okay, whoa. Your ball. Well, we've ruled he's got to get his hand out there somehow. Your bloke's got to have better ball control. Okay?
So as long as the delivery is
Wait.
he dropped it. He dropped it.
Okay, we made a ruling.
Wait, Barnett, why don't you review the review?
Bulldogs feed. Bulldogs still have
You're
the
down
challenge.
16-0.
Come, boys.
There is a time to chirp and there's a time
Okay,
to
boys,
not
throw it
to.
out. Time's still off, boys.
But it's a huge call.
It is, and the Bulldogs need to do something with this field position now. As you're right, they need to gain
Heads in.
a bit of composure, get through this set and try and build some pressure.
They almost knocked on at the base of the scrum as he got caught up in Templeman's feet. And now here's a good strong run from Elliott. They don't want to get too excited. They Canterbury and try and score off every play. Now Perrett, they're not moving off the line here, the Warriors. Perrett's close. Now they regather the Warriors defensively. And Lloyd Perrett is 5 away. Carter, Elliott was almost in front of him. Now comes back towards the touchline and it's taken to ground there by Hooker. And well, Perrett was almost standing flat-footed, and that's why he's easy meat for the defence. The offload to Sealer across field, and he's easy meat for the defence. They're short, though, the Warriors. If they go to the right, Canterbury, that's where they go. Feeney into space, and there's the try. Is there an obstruction, though?
Yes.
Mate, we're on tackle 4. Yeah, video review. We have a try. Just check where he catches it for a possible obstruction.
Just what the Dogs were after. Some points when they finally got the footy. But is there an obstruction here?
And we spoke about what they're capable of. It's a beautiful little pass of play here. Kicks over and draws in the B defender. And Feeney, as we spoke about a few weeks ago against Canberra, really took on the line. And again, with his first opportunity today, looks to have got himself a try. They said they wanted to check where he's caught the ball and whether that's in an obstruction.
That's fine, isn't it? There's nothing wrong with that.
He does well. Backs himself, takes on the line and gets over and gets his side.
They were very short defensively there, the Warriors, weren't they?
They were.
Do you think that was that a set play for Elliott to keep coming and Perrott this way to try and drag the Warriors defenders in to that side of the field?
I think,
or just it happened that way?
I just think that it was an offload there to Silla, who skips across infield, which then draws the defenders up. And then it's really hard to retreat to get back to your position.
Should be a try, and it is a try. Didn't they need that? Jalen Feeney gets the try, and that will settle the Bulldogs down 16 points to 4. And it just re-emphasises what a big call that was. And I believe, Mick, and I've said it before, that the captain's challenge, in my opinion, this year has worked. If it wasn't for the captain's challenge, they wouldn't have had the ball, the Dogs, and the Warriors may have scored again. And
so often you talk about the onus of the ball player with his ball security, and that's what the referees have ruled there, that he had a loose carry. Dogs get possession, score a try. And to be honest, as we see Templeton line up the kick, young Feeney has really hit some good form at the back end of the season, and boy, oh boy, did the Dogs need that.
We saw in the Broncos-Tigers game, if it wasn't, and he's hit the upright and gone in, things turning here for the Dogs. The Broncos-Tigers game, the Tigers won it on the back of 2 successful captain's challenges. So it's definitely
an area. I've spoke to you previously about how I'd really like to see it in an
NRL environment,
whether it be in a trial system or whatever they decide to look at, but it's definitely worthwhile.
Tuilolo here with the restart. They've let it bounce here, Canterbury, and what a nice bounce. Perrott, having to CSC played a role in that try as well for Canterbury. He's on in 16. Moses and by. Strong run. This is Tuamunga playing it. Carter out of acting half. Trying to pick up some metres. Good run there from Blake Carter. The tackles left in this set. This is CSC trying to run over the top of the defence and having no success. Marlow on the field, I think, for the Warriors. Is that a Villy making the tackle? It's a kick that's a good kick. It's almost a replica of the kick from Mason Lenore that kept the Bulldogs pinned down in their own end. He did remarkably well, Fusatua, to try and get back into the field to play. He beat about 5 defenders, but couldn't beat the last.
Yeah, right. He's a superb player, Fusatua. I love this about him. Just backs himself in his speed and his strength. Does a wonderful job in the in goal in a prelim final. So much to play for, and just backed himself and nearly did it. But credit to the Bulldogs. Lovely kick there from Templeton. And that, for Patmore, is the perfect set to get themselves back into this contest.
It's exactly the same set the Warriors had after they scored points. They forced a repeat set and then were able to score. Can the Bulldogs do the same? They didn't catch the ball, and they got fortunate there with wonderful hands from Herman Asiasi, who brings it back towards the 30. This is developing into a real good match here because the Dogs, they know they've got points in them. You can see they're playing with confidence despite the fact they've been completely outplayed in the first 15 minutes of the game. Lane. Carter. Now Elliott. Feeney, hands Templeman. Fuka away from his winger, Leo Lavave. He's only a couple of metres away. Here they come. Great ball. Carter to Perrott, who finally got it down. Well, this is absolutely remarkable. The Bulldogs are now doing to the Warriors what the Warriors did to them in the first 15. Back-to-back tries for Canterbury. Carter the pass, Perrott the try.
Lovely play here from Carter. We spoke about him also at the start of the game. Great vision here. Lloyd Perrott lining up, back at the post, big spaces, a big man running onto the ball. Fissatua, I think it is. No, it's not. It's Fatalio Mariner. Nearly a wonderful try-saving tackle, but Perrott too strong close to the line. And this is what we spoke about. The Dogs with an even % of possession can get themselves back into this contest. And we've got a very good game of football on our hands here now, but it's going to be the side that settles into this occasion and really just continues to chip away without trying to force things. And at the moment, we saw the Warriors do that in the opening stanza. Now the momentum shifted with the Bulldogs, and they need to keep capitalising.
Templeman to bring up 300 points this season. He will become just the third player to do it in the NYC competition. Jake Mullaney for the Tigers in 2009 and Dylan Collier for the Warriors in 2011. And there it is, 301 points this season for Patrick Templeman. And they'll be feeling a little bit better now, as will Andy Patmore. And the Warriors know they're in a battle here. They shot at 16-0, and it's remarkable. I mean, their second try came off the back of a repeat set. Canterbury's have come off the back of a repeat set. And Mika goes back to the captain's challenge, being successful. And since then, the Warriors haven't touched the footy.
It's been outstanding. Perrott early. But we see now Ackland starting to make some changes with Marleau and Sampson. Sampson coming onto the field, replacing Havili and Taylor. Really looking to try and turn the momentum with a few fresh players.
CSC towards halfway. Carter, beautiful ball onto the chest. He cut out this man Elliott to find Perrott.
16, release now. Hold.
40 metres away. A bit disjointed there, they were, the Bulldogs. A bit flat-footed. Another kick coming from Feeney. Covered this time for Zatua. Spun away from Seela, spun away from Mumbai, but Seela comes again with the help of the man who put the kick in, Jalen Graham.
Well, here we go. The Warriors now get the football back, and we've seen what they can do from this end of the field earlier in the game. And now they get their opportunity to work their way out of the end. Will they just try and get through this set, or will they continue to look at that offload style of football that caused so much trouble to the Bulldogs in the opening stanza?
Here's a strong run from Lasorne. 8 metres short of halfway. Marleau has come on for Havili. Another offload. That is one thing that's killing Canterbury whenever the Warriors have had possession. That offload from Sio. It is the last tackle. Now Lenore, his kicking game's been good. Or was that late? The referee looked at it and says it's all right. And it stays. But he's had time here, Seela, to pick it up and bring it back. Kimo Sampson with the tackle. Mason Lenore up to his feet, but it was line ball. And they've got some space here. If he can link here, Moses and inside Templeman, he couldn't get it to him. He might have had to go 70 metres, but Patrick Templeman would have been hard to stop because David Fissatua is defending about 50 metres behind the line for the Warriors. That was a big ankle tap. Leo Lavave. Carter. Elliott with a little bit of a juggle. Graham, Lane. Still going. Finally put the tie with the tackle. Here is the last. Now Mbai with a little grubber and well picked up by Fissatua, and he's beaten two and then lost it running straight at Graham, who's picked it up for Canterbury. He tried to be a little bit too tough there, did Fissatua, and he's come up with the error, and now the Dogs have a golden opportunity here.
You've got to go right.
Only a metre away. Asia is near the line. Can he reach out? No. Double movement.
Well, the play there.
Promoted it. Here's our 10, boys. We need to get on
They
side,
had numbers out the back and they were stripped to the left there, the Warriors.
Mason, let's go, mate.
And the Bulldogs were stacked to their right-hand side, but he almost got there, but he's been penalised for the double movement by the looks of things. And the Warriors dodge a bullet. Fissatua, I thought he was nearly going to go the length of the field, but the tackle from Graham.
That was
In line
silly,
with him,
wasn't
mate.
it?
In line with him.
That was a silly play from Herman Asiasi. Breathed a big sigh of relief there, the Warriors. They haven't been down the other end for ages.
They've
Sampson.
got a good opportunity here.
6 off that ball, get up.
Hold! Hold!
Slows play the ball there from Kumar Sampson. He doesn't look too well. Relying him in back play. Here's a terrific run. Just when they needed it too. Through Lasorne, the Warriors. Lenor, Lolohia. Nice ball into a little bit of space to Mavave Gerard. Back to Sio. Supporting on the inside, Lolohia. The ankle tap stopped it for a moment. Lolohia wants to link with someone. He does to Hukatai. Now Lasari. Mbai has got him. Sealer's there as well. Somehow they saved it, Canterbury. But they're only just hanging on. Lolohia. Awful ball and knocked on by Lenor.
You can check it, but I got double.
We're going to check.
No try. First off, Dogs.
Mel, video review. Is we tackle 0. We have no try. Can you just check how it comes to the chest or a knock on from Warriors?
There's a knock-on first of all from Canterbury, then a knock-on from the Warriors. So it'll be a knock-on both ways. It'll be a loose
It's a tackle, it's all right.
and feed
As long as it's not late, I'm watching. Okay, cool. Thank you.
to the Warriors.
Didn't Moses and Bai come up with a try-saving tackle down here on Lasati?
I think Herman CSC has got a hand to that there.
Yeah, it's touched there by Minute and then into,
Or was it David Minute on the field, is it?
yeah, Minute into Lenor.
And he's playing at it too. So it's a knock-on both ways.
Yep. Yep. Again.
The Dogs are going to need to show some real good online defence here. The Warriors with so much strike right across the field, such a crucial part of the game, already leading 16-12.
No try. Knock on both. Knock on, double knock on. First one, Bulldogs. Yeah, first one, Bulldogs.
They needed the break there, I think, too, Canterbury.
6. 3, 2.
All right, I spoke to David about it. Put your arms up and over. Michael, blind.
What have they got on here?
Boys, how many you got? Come on. In you go.
Wait now.
Give him a tunnel.
Wait now.
One against the feed from Canterbury.
Hey. Came out the same tunnel. No, came out the same tunnel. Excuse me.
Can we challenge that, sir?
No, you can't strike until he does, all right? Give him a tunnel through there.
It's got to come out behind the second row, not behind the front row's feet.
Yours, mate.
So fair enough. Now, here's Hukatai.
He's handled the confrontation really well, Adam G.
He's a good referee.
Go.
Sampson seems to have recovered from the knock. Malu's at acting half. Barner's to the left. They cut him out to Lolohia. Now Sio has proved a real handful for Canterbury at the start of this game.
Go.
Very deep is Lolohia. Another ball here to Lasorne. 9 away. Centre field. Malu. Lenor. They tell him Mariner. Trying to run over the top. Graham got some assistance from Mbai. It's the last. Malu off the legs of Elliott. He did well there. Adam Elliott, a really smart play. Kept his hands right away from it. And his sides come up with possession.
I see a good run there from John Siller. That's what we need to see more of. So destructive with his ball carrying and the Bulldogs now get the opportunity to work their way out of their end. I'd like to see David Minnett get some football too. Very destructive out on that right edge. At the moment, the Bulldogs attacking a lot down their left as we see Carter come that way. The Minnett who's come onto the field can be really destructive on that right-hand edge.
Here they come again. Lane looked on his left and By was there, but Silla wasn't. Last tackle. Graham. Now Templeman, they're going to run it. Here is David Minnett. He's got support in Fuka. Now back on the inside to Lelavave, who puts the foot down. It'll be a turnover.
Lost it on the ground, so we're coming out 10. We're just here. Wait up.
He lost it, so they pick up a couple of metres, the Warriors.
Dummy half, boys. Wait for you. Okay.
That's where you like your winger. Just have that presence of mind to know to put boot to ball.
What a great time of year, isn't it? Great football, both sides moving it around. It's a good time of the day to be playing. Just that early evening as we see the mousetrap again, but both sides been terrific in this half, and a reason why they've been so good in the Holden Cup this season. We've got a great game of football on our hands here as we see Malu come out of dummy half.
Nice, move down! Yeah, hold!
They got there, they got there.
Samson.
Let him go. Blake's not there, Blake.
Lolo here.
They're coming, Blake.
Flat-footed.
Now.
Carter had to wait, and that gave an opportunity for Lolo here to take the line on. Quick play, the ball, last tackle. Lenor kicking, looking for touch. He's not going to find it. And the chase isn't great here from the Warriors. Templeman looking for an opportunity, and then they get in a straight line, and then he just runs into the wrong man.
Well, this could be a big play. Such a key, integral part of the Bulldogs' attacking structure and just general football.
Well, he just ran into Viliami Lolo here. Now, this will be interesting because I don't think Lolo here, what else could he do? How did he get out of the way?
The key question there is there been contact with the head. I know he can't get out of the way, but we talk about contact with the head.
See,
he's falling.
Yeah, and look, there's no doubt that he made contact with the head, but my argument has always been that accidents happen in the game.
They do, and the common sense here would be that, yeah, it's an accident, and we don't like to see that. It's probably what we're going on the basis of what we've seen this year in all grade.
It'll be a penalty. It will be, but I feel for Lolo here.
Contact. Number 5 on report.
Now, there's no doubt.
We've ruled it's high contact. Player safety.
There's no doubt that Templeman has copped one there, and no one likes to see a player injured.
Dave, what are you doing this set?
But sometimes in a game, things happen, and look, that's not a good look. And
he's a tough young kid, Templeman. He's back to his feet, and that'll please the Bulldogs coaching staff as well as his teammates. But the good thing about that is it's been handled with consistency as we see Fuka carry the ball off the tap.
David Minnett on the 30-metre line, he'll play it. Elliott. Graham and By stepping well. Silla will be hard to stop from here. I don't think they'll stop him. There was no way in the world they were going to stop John Silla there.
I've got a possible shoulder charge in there. Is grounding okay?
Grounding sweep.
Okay, sweet.
Grounding sweep.
Well, it's taken forever, but Silla gets the try. His 23rd in 11 games. It was the only way in the world that Fusatua was going to try and stop him.
Beautiful
putting
play
his body in the way.
Sorry, Mark. Beautiful play here from the Bulldogs. We see Elliott to Graham. Lovely footwork there from Mbai, who's been outstanding this afternoon. And John Silla, a wonderful finisher. So big and so strong and fast close to the line. You mentioned how many tries he's scored this season in a number of appearances in the Holden Cup. As we see him accelerate here. Too big and too powerful, and he does a wonderful job with the contact there of Fusatua and slams the ball down in the corner. And at the 33-minute mark, this game is level pegging. 16 points all with a kick to come to Templeman. And it's probably exactly where the game needs to be at. It's been outstanding.
He averages tries in a game, 1.27 tries in a game. Some blokes would be happy with that in a season for their career, to average 1.27 tries a season. He averages 1.27 in a game.
Directing that at me, Mark?
No, because every time you've worked with me on a Sunday, we've shown a try you scored the night before or a Saturday.
But isn't it a reflection? I mean, we said the gate's open now and the crowd's really starting to build for this preliminary final between Manly and South Sydney later. But here, this game has it all at the moment.
How's he going to be after the knock?
Well, he's a tough kid. We see him get back to his feet.
Wouldn't mind him wearing a mouth guard. Maybe after tonight he might. He might be one of those ones that can't breathe with a mouth guard, Mick. Here's Templeman from the touchline. At 24 out. Big kick to put the Dogs in front after they trailed by 16. And for the second time tonight, he's hit the upright. 16-0 down becomes 18-16 up. And the Bulldogs are in front by 2. 34 points in the first half. 7 of the 10 matches between these two sides have had at least 52 points scored. There's going to be a few more before the night's out. That try came on the back of that penalty, the first penalty of the night to Canterbury. That tackle on Templeman.
And again, we see John Siller coming in and getting his hands on the football and earning himself his side. A quick play the ball, and Carter out of dummy half brings them by onto the ball, but Pat Moore would be really looking for that really nice set that they played before after points where they ended up with the repeat set. They need a really good end of set kick on the end of this set.
Less than 5 minutes to half time. Neither team would want to concede points in this particular period of the game. They're short here, the Warriors, but Feeney kicks. Awkward bounce for Fusatua. Can he get there? I don't know that he did. I think Jalen Feeney has scored an unbelievable try. What an awful bounce.
This will be tackle 6. We have a try. Can you please review grounding and onside chases?
What an awful bounce for David Fusatua. They had 3-on-2 and kicked the Bulldogs, but he chased hard Jalen Feeney and has won the race.
Well, we see here Feeney go down the short side. I was with you, Mark. I thought they had the overlap to run the football there.
Carter's in front of him, but the man that can put him on is the kicker, but he's got to put him onside before he gets inside the 10, which he has.
No, he's put him onside.
And it's just a horrible, horrible bounce that kicks everywhere but into his hands for Fusatua. And Feeney, with this enthusiasm that we've spoken about in his game, leading into the final series on this wonderful run that the Bulldogs have had, gets the ball down and gets his second try of the afternoon and gets his side out to a nice little lead now.
Double in consecutive games here for Jalen Feeney as well. He got a double against the Raiders, and he now has a double against the Warriors. He scored the first try, he's now scored the 4th try, and it's 22 unanswered points for Canterbury.
Young Feeney, he's been around the club at the Bulldogs for a number of years now, doing different little things, being involved with the club. He's got a real great work ethic. He's got his opportunity in the Holden Cup, and he's really grabbed it this season. The thing I like about him is he brings a real enthusiasm. He backs himself. We saw that in the first try that he scored. And his little 1% effort there to chase his own kick, albeit it was a horrible bounce for Fusatua. It's only if he doesn't turn up there, Fusatua gets the ball down, they get a line dropout.
Absolutely.
But he chases and he shows that will and the want to play next week. And he gets his side his second try for the afternoon.
Here's a real test now for the Warriors when they were on a high, cruising, 16 points to 0. If Templeman converts this, it's 24 points to 16. He's drilled it straight between the posts on this occasion. And after they led 16 points to 0 after 14 minutes, the Warriors, they'll go into half-time trailing by 8. Unless something else happens in this remarkable first half.
Whilst the Bulldogs have got all the momentum at the moment and they're doing things really well, we saw in that opening stanza that it doesn't take much for the Warriors to get on a real quick roll. And they just need to get back to carrying that football through the middle with intensity and aggression, getting a bit of second phase offload, and before you know it, the momentum will swing. The Bulldogs, on the other hand, need to stay in this grinding mentality, keep testing the Warriors, keep getting their little two-pass, getting to spots, and having a good end-of-set kick.
Here they go again. Now Minute back towards the middle of the ruck. Well, not really the middle of the ruck, it's on the other side of the field, and by Silla. Can he get stopped by Fusatua? Support on the inside, and Lane gets the try. They won't trail by 8 at half-time, the Warriors. You can almost double that.
Yep.
Sean Lane will get the try, and 5 unanswered tries from Canterbury. It's now 28 points to 16.
What a wonderful reward. He's had a great first half here, Lane. He's got through an enormous amount of work. And we see a lovely play here. Inside ball to Minute, who I said needed to get his hands on the football for this reason. He is destructive. And again, and by, just classy, got so much time. Give Silla plenty of open space. And as you said, Lane pushing back through the middle, scores a wonderful try. But it's here, it's Mbai. Beautiful ball to Silla. The big fella steaming down the wing, finds Lane inside. Big Lane, hasn't he had a wonderful first half? And Templeton also pushing through the middle. And the Bulldogs with all the momentum and all the possession at the moment.
Yeah, it's based on that, isn't it? Possession. And after conceding just 6 points in their last 3 halves of football, the Warriors, they've conceded 28 in 22 minutes. It could well be 30 points in 22 minutes. The wheels have fallen off. They haven't had much footy. They led by 16 points to 0 after 14 minutes. Jalen Feeney scored the first try for Canterbury in the 18th minute. And captain's challenge when they're up 16-0 was ruled a strip. They challenged at Canterbury. It was ruled then to be a lost footy, and they haven't looked back since then.
Well, it's been, as we see Templeton come in here to add the extras, it's been a game or a first half of key moments. We saw the Bulldogs.
Oh, he's hit the upright for the 3rd time in the half. This time it comes back unsuccessful. Gee whiz, 3 attempts at conversion hitting the upright in the first half from the same kicker.
Like I was saying, Mark, we saw the Bulldogs early on in the first half here run the ball on the last tackle and get caught. And from that moment, for about 15 minutes as both sides go to the break, don't touch the Warriors, have all the football and score all the points.
Half-time in the preliminary final. Canterbury 28, the Warriors 16. What about this man? He hasn't had too many opportunities tonight, but he's made the most of them. And you know, from what we've seen, we haven't seen him that often this year on Fox Sports cameras because he's been playing New South Wales Cup. You just want the ball in his hands as often as possible. He's got to look forward a little bit more.
He's outstanding when he carries the football, young John. Reminds me a lot of George Tafua from Manly. One of those wingers that is all but like another forward, but then on the back of a backline movement, they're just wonderful finishes as well. So, as you're right, Mark, if the Bulldogs need to keep pushing through the middle with momentum, John can certainly come in there and help them out on the back of his impressive first half.
Short kickoff here from the Warriors. I don't know if it was by design or not. And the juggle from Lane. Was it a missed kick from Tuilolo here? Or was it deliberate? Either way, the Dogs have got possession, and here is Silla. The first question that needs to be answered in the second half, Mick, is when does John Ackland bring Havili back on the field and his 2 front rowers? In Vitae and Taylor.
Well, they were outstanding in the opening exchanges, and I don't doubt that you'll see them in this next 10-minute period. No doubt they're chasing 12 points, and those 2 guys were key figures when the Warriors were scoring points early in this game, and he'll want them back out there as we see Minute.
Strong hit over the top, wasn't it?
Beautiful tackle over the top.
Kumar Sampson. Malu was in there as well. It's Blake Carter in 20. Templeman with the kick to the corner, and Zatua has it covered. Strong defence. Great sharp strength there from Fuka. But a good set after the kickoff to the second half for the Canterbury side, and let's see what the Warriors have got. It's Viliami Lolo here. Asati, one of the try scorers. Just seemed to lack a bit of go forward without Vite and Taylor. A little bit of running across field there from Lasone. Lawler here. Ball back here to Sampson. Last tackle. Still shy of the halfway line, and what a great pass to Lenore. Straight down the throat of Templeman, who says to Leo Lavava, you have a bit of a run, and waiting for him were 3 Warriors defenders. Maybe next time Patrick Templeman will dummy that and keep it himself. Fuka, strong run.
Hold!
CSC over the halfway line. Templeman, Graham, Fualolo, inside the 40. Graham stepping, acceleration, and Lenore just grabbed him. Important tackle. Faitala Mariner was there as well. Carter, out of acting half, has lost it.
Knock on off Warriors first.
He's kicked it. It's been knocked on by Warriors.
It's a kick from
Off
Carter.
Mason. Off Mason.
Knock on. Here for a scrum.
He has kicked it, and it did hit the hand of Mason Lenore.
Been excellent, the referees tonight.
The question is, did he play it at Mason Lenore, or was he just running and the ball hit his hand?
One of those 50-50s that on nights like tonight, with the ultimate prize awaiting, you need them to fall your way. And fortunately for the Bulldogs there, it has, and for Blake Carter. What about the footwork from Graham?
Arms up and over.
I'll give you that call.
Line second row, Dave.
I'll give you a go.
Hold the boys. In you go.
Hold, boys.
Out. Yours.
Elliott. Huge set defensively here for the Warriors. 9 metres out. They trail by 12. They've conceded 28 straight. Carter. Graham. There's some strong defence.
Hold the line. Hold.
Fualolo. Looking to reach out, and was held back with a strong tackle from Sampson. Carter, Feeney, short ball, minute, head down. He is tackled a metre away. Carter dummying. A CSC for the line, double movement earlier. He's not to be denied on this occasion. Herman, a CSC, gets the try that he couldn't get in the first half. And maybe, just maybe, the Bulldogs edging towards a grand final berth.
Well, I thought when David Minnett got the ball off Feeney that he was going to go close, but he lost his footing. Carter goes to the left and then comes back. And a CSC. Big Herman just crashes over close to the line, big and powerful. We spoke about the size of the forward packs on a regular basis today, and the CSC is a perfect example of that. And the Dogs extend their lead, and Templeton lines up the kick in this prelim final to extend the lead to possibly 34 points to 16.
One thing I think the Warriors have got away from, even though they haven't had as much footy, obviously, since that captain's challenge decision, has been all the Dogs since then. When they have had the ball, I don't think they're running as straight and hard as they were. I think there's a little bit too much cross-field running, and the Dogs are going straight.
Well,
and here comes Avilli on the way back, and Taylor.
And that could be just what they need.
Well, it's the season. They've got to do something. They've got to change something. They've got to put the pressure back on the Bulldogs as Templeman adds another 2. It's 18, the lead. The Warriors led by 16. It's 34 unanswered points.
It's funny, you know, Mark, you mentioned that the style of football that both sides are playing. You can really see the Bulldogs working over the Warriors' edges, really playing down corridors. And I said in the start of the game, the Warriors were at their best when they were playing through that middle third of the field. But at the moment, they're being drawn into a similar, like what they're trying to do, what the Dogs are doing. but their strength is to go through the middle third of the field rather than down the edges. And they need to get back to that, and they've shown that they're going to do that, bring Havili and also Taylor with the combination of Vete back onto the field as well.
There's some strong defence. Muscling up there by Talamarina. Lane slipping. Havili with the tackle. I think most of the points have been scored for Canterbury while those 3 players have been off the field.
Sorry, Vite's on the sideline warming up, but he'll need to be another injection, that's for sure, as we see minutes
at Taylor, and Taylor comes off the worst for wear. There's another strong run from the CSC, but look at Taylor back in there to make the next tackle. Templeman with the kick. It's not a bad kick either. Reverse it to her. It's not what you'd call a classic fullback take. He took it in front of his eyes.
Come on, mate. Line me up, David. Lock in, Marcus.
There's no
People at the
fear.
MCG would be happy with that catch tomorrow.
There's just no fear in these young blokes, is there? They'll just do whatever they think needs to be done. Alsahi. Put the top. Quick play the ball. No, he's lost it.
Trying to do it too quick.
He tried to play it too quickly, says the referee.
Will they challenge this?
Well, if there's a Canterbury leg in there, you would, wouldn't you? No, he just... I thought for a minute maybe Elliott running back might have knocked, hit his leg, but he just didn't play it properly.
Ruling's done, Mason. Let's go. Come on, we need someone. John Bond in for me.
Who's that
Second
injured?
row, Michael.
At the back of the scrum
Give him
for
a tunnel.
Canterbury, Mick. He's
Hold, boys.
blocked there by
Moses,
the
tunnel.
trainer.
Hold it. Hold.
Out. Go.
It's
Flexing
Jalen
at
Graham.
knee, which could be a worry. Strong shot over the top from Tuamava Gerard.
Boys, I call him held up here. Come back. I call him held.
Wait up, Dave.
Hurry up, boys. Wait.
Well, keep an eye on Jalen Graham. He's got a right knee problem. And as the clock ticks down here, if the Warriors turn this around, those sorts of things become important for next week, don't they? There he is, he can't run. Jalen Graham, that could be massive for Canterbury if they had to go on next week. Lane, not sure about that pass, and the Warriors have come up with it. Is that a momentum changer? That and the fact that Graham is struggling. Well, he got in there to make that tackle.
Hold, Sean. Hold.
Still limping.
It's a great effort from him either way. That's 2 tackles now that he's been involved in.
Don't know how many more he's got though. Taylor. Straight a run, but he's put on his back there by Elliott.
Hold, Dave.
Lock in, boys.
Lenor. Now Barner. Offload to Havili. This time they wrap him up.
Hands away,
Having a CSC all over the footy.
Go. Not late, Blake.
Lenor, not the best of passes from Barner. A floating one, and it's a floating kick, and Leo Lavave drops it, and it's snapped upon by Viliami Lawlaw here.
Go, mate. We'll be on tackle 1 after a touch from Bulldogs. Okay, got a try. Check grounding by Warriors, please.
I don't think there's a problem with the grounding from the Warriors, but have we seen a momentum change with the pass here from Sean Lane that turned possession over?
Well, it was a wonderful kick here. An awkward-looking bomb from Lino. You see Carter come through there to put some kick pressure on. And the awkwardness of the kick and the bobble in the air.
Viliami Lawlaw here. That'll be his 23rd try in 27 games. And there is the try. And the first step on the way back for the Warriors. Sorry, Viliami's his 9th try in 15. I'm getting him and Tui mixed up. Sean Lane forcing the pass.
Yeah, it was an offload that they They had all the momentum and they just needed to get through that set and try and build some pressure. He thought he saw something, got the arm through. He's quite a big man on that edge. Unfortunately, no one was there to dive on the football. The Warriors come up with it. And at the back end of the set, as I said, an awkward-looking bomb forces the Bulldogs into mistake. And Lolohea has got his side back into this contest. You see Lenore come in and adds the extras.
You just may have heard sound effects mics there. One of the Warriors players say, we've got the momentum back here. And you can't afford to give teams that, Mick. And this could be just what the Warriors needed.
Stay on, Dogs!
This set, so important for both teams. And it was when they got Havili back there and they got this man, Taylor, back. And here he comes. Who am I going to run at? Where's the small bloke? Thank you, Fuku's not that small. Strong run. Solomone Kata on the field. So with Havili back out there as well, someone else had to focus on around the ruck. It takes the pressure off the halves. And here he goes again, Havili, and linking up here with Sio.
19 up now.
16, come on. Hold. That's 4.
Havili. Havili's into space. Can he link? Lolohea knocked down Templeman. Play on. Havili again. Ducking, weaving, losing it.
Two in up,
Comes through, mate.
David.
Here, boys.
I think we've made our point, Nick, about
Time off.
Saliva Havili.
Absolutely. He is dynamite out of dummy half, and whenever the Warriors start to get some ruck speed, he causes all sorts of problems. He is an absolute dynamo out of dummy half.
Let me get behind. Hey?
It's great to watch.
Want a kick? Yeah, kick.
And at the moment, he's got the Bulldogs right under the pump, and you mentioned before, Mark, that the Warriors players talking about they've got the momentum. Well, isn't this an important defensive set for the Bulldogs as we see Taylor rip towards the try line?
Move now! 1 foot, hold, go.
With a bit of a juggle from Sio. He hangs on to it. Got away from Carter. Elliott should have been penalised and is for the spin around.
Stay there.
It was so obvious, that
Wait
one.
for him. Wait for him.
1 minute.
Hold the line, boys. Hold.
Where you are. Where you are.
Wait for the kick. Hold, go.
Barner. David Barner's not far away. A CSC with the tackle. In fact, it was Minute. Now Lolohea back to Seal. And they're waiting for him. Feeney is there.
Hold the line.
Havili. Lolohea. Madelinor. Fusatua. Good defence on the inside. The tackle made by Fualololo.
Hold. Go.
Havili. Now to Itala Mariner. Lenore stepping. Can't work his way through.
Hold the line. Hold. Go.
Havili. Lolohea. Taylor. Back to the middle of the ruck, straight through Elliott, straight past another, and James Taylor has scored the try that well and truly gets the Warriors back in it. 34 points to 26, some poor missed tackles from Canterbury, but Saliva Havili and James Taylor back for the Warriors, and they score points.
Yeah, we see the penalty here from Elliott. An unfortunate one and some frustration there. And again, we see great line speed there from Minute and Feeney, and he comes back on the inside, Taylor, and it's just a miss there from Elliott, and he'll be disappointed with that. He's a great defender. But Taylor, the injection of the big man, lovely little bit of change of footwork, and unstoppable from close to the line, and the Warriors, now you're right, Mark, with all the momentum, and they get the opportunity now to really, really challenge for this game with the injection of Havili, Taylor, and I don't doubt soon that you'll see also Vitae come back onto the field.
Well, he sat back down. Well, Andy Patmore was making changes here. Lloyd Perrett's coming back. Someone else is coming on as well because David Minnett's coming from the field. I think also coming from the field, Tuamunga. I'm not sure who's going on with Perrett because I can only see Lloyd Perrett. Mason Lenore, remarkably, gets us back to a 6-point game. And there's 25 minutes of play remaining. I got no idea who's going to win this.
Just about to say the same thing. What a game of football this has been. As we said, the crowd continued to build here in this preliminary final. And it's just been an absolutely outstanding game of toing and throwing. Both sides been terrific. As again, we see Taylor with a terrific run.
He's lost
got
it.
the football.
Did he lose that? Did he lose that?
Well, it looked like it. They've called it.
It's a knock on, boys. It's a knock on.
I think the touch judge picked that up.
Thanks, Patsy.
I think Luke Potter gave the call there. I thought I saw him lose it. This is just extraordinary because a drop ball from James Taylor. Or was that a strip? Are they going to challenge this, the Warriors? This will be bizarre if they challenge this and it's overturned and they keep possession. David Barner is going to challenge.
Mel,
Here we go.
video review.
This is just,
Live decision is a lost ball. Can you please review for us?
this is just like the first half in reverse. It was James Taylor that dropped it
Just go back.
to give Canterbury momentum in the first and the overrule.
Just go back.
And now, Jack Creighton back on the field. There seems to be more. That's not the angle that'll secure it. But there's a Jack Creighton hand there, which will be overturned.
All right, boys. Decision is overturned.
It's remarkable, isn't it?
It's going to be a penalty to the Warriors for a strip.
In the first half, it was a successful challenge from Canterbury that overturned a penalty back to a knock-on. On this occasion, it's a successful challenge from the Warriors that overturned a knock-on into a penalty. 5-1 the penalty count of the Warriors. Templeman tried, but just couldn't manage. A miracle.
Here. Up here for a scrum.
Well, he's taken that tap almost near the touchline. Solomon Carter, you just can't do that and play on. Sio.
Been good, Sio. Been very, very good for the Warriors.
And he's better when Havili's out there than Taylor.
Well, they all are, because Havili's been outstanding in bringing his forwards onto the football.
Tell Mariner. They'll score here again, the Warriors, won't they? Tuamavavi Gerard. Taylor will get a double. And they will be level again here, the Warriors. A poor missed tackle from Canterbury. But the Warriors will be level at 34 in a moment.
Well, this game is exactly what we just spoke about, this piece of play here. A minute ago, we we're talking about Taylor dropping the football down here at this end of the field. The captain's challenge comes in and it's overturned again. The Warriors come downfield, and it is that man again, Taylor, who changes the angle with a little bit of footwork, not much footwork, just strength and raw determination to get there and get his side towards the grand final. And he's got his second try of the night. And it's been his second stint, or the injection from Ackland, to bring him and Havili back onto the field, that has totally changed the momentum of this game.
That and the forced pass from Sean Lane. When Canterbury were just rolling. 5 tackle busts tonight.
144 metres from 12 carries.
He spent more time on the bench. Really, when he was on the bench, Canterbury scored 34 points. Mason Lenore, this to make it 34 all. The Warriors led 16-0. Then Canterbury got to 34-16. And now it's going to be 34 all. So 16 points to the Warriors, 34 points to Canterbury, now 18 straight to the Warriors. If he kicks it. And he does. And 34 all.
I've got no doubt, Andrew Patmore said to them at halftime, this Warriors side is never beat. They have showed it time and time again, no matter how far you get in front, they always show a way or show some sort of fight back. And when the Bulldogs scored straight after half-time,
Stay behind here, boys.
they look like they've thought that they were going to roll on. And then all of a sudden, as you said, a forced pass, which could have been dived on.
Blake Carter's been taken from the field by Andrew Patmore.
And now the Warriors have got all the momentum, and here comes Taylor.
Who can turn it for Canterbury if they had to turn it? We saw them against Canberra. Mick fall asleep in the second half when they led 22-10 and were forced a golden point before winning. Can they force an error here? The Warriors need to get to their kick. Tuamavava Gerard. Barner. Last tackle. Lenore. Good set here from the Warriors. They get to their kick. Maybe not the best man to kick it to, but John Siller. Wind up, son, and run, and he does. And Barner is there to make the tackle. Now, what if Canterbury? They haven't touched the ball for a while, the Bulldogs, and Lavave forced back in the tackle. And by Graham, he's still limping. Mick, it's a worry for Canterbury. One thing we haven't really paid much attention to because he hasn't had to run. There he is, the number 6. Haven't had the footy since he hurt his leg. He can't run. They had to catch and pass to Lane, and he looked for his winger who was playing the footy. Creighton, Templeman. Now Fuka, some space. Lavave with him. He kept the pass till late. And now Dujon Lavave knocked to the ground by Fusatua. Chance still for Canterbury. It's the last. Through the hands of Feeney. Now Mbai. Mbai, an awful ball, but it bounces nicely. The kick is no good for Canterbury. Munga, but they get a penalty. Not back to 10, the Warriors.
It was a lovely piece of play. We see Fuka here.
Come on, boys, let's go. Come on, Warriors.
And Dujon.
Come on, boys.
Lolia go down the sideline, and then they've moved the ball across. You can see Mbai's been moved into dummy half with Carter off the field. It will be interesting to see what that adds to the side. He's a very versatile young player, Moses.
Is this the next change in momentum? Points have come in bunches to one side. We've never seen one side score a try and the other one head back straight away. It's always been huge points. Creighton. Now Fuka. He's got Lea Lavave. He didn't give him much of a chance, but he scores anyway. They almost butchered at the Bulldogs. They ran out of defenders, the Warriors. And Dujon Lavave scores the try. The 13th of the game to put the Dogs back in front.
And again, it was the Dogs forwards way down the other end of the field with the sleight of hands as we see here. Lovely play there. Feeney out to Fuka. And inside there to Lolia. And he slams the football down. There's a little bit of confusion there for a minute, but I think that, in a sense, threw the Warriors out.
That and the fact that Solomone Kata pushed Viliami Lolohea almost out of the way in making the tackle. They did get a little bit fortunate there, Canterbury, but Dujon Lavave gets a much-needed try to settle things down for Canterbury. And now it's up the Warriors in the in-goal area. You can see them there, all hands in the middle. They need to get themselves back.
What an exciting game of footy it was. This is outstanding. We see the Bulldogs, a great defensive set from the Warriors, but Lloyd Perrott comes up with a nice little catch and pass play. They move the football out through Feeney out to Fuka, who then takes the line on, gets the ball away to Lolia. They make a break down this end of the field. Then they shift the ball and get a penalty, and then we see them come up with a nice try in this corner and get themselves back in front as Templeman moves in to extend it to 6.
He didn't strike that one as cleanly as he would like, and 4 points is the lead to the Bulldogs, 38 points. It's their highest ever losing score, 38 points, than when they were beaten by the Warriors in 2008. When they've scored 40, they've never lost. I reckon they might have more than 40 in them in this game. I don't think we've seen the end of the scoring, but sometimes, though, in high-scoring games, all of a sudden it just stops when teams look at the clock.
Well, I somehow don't think it's going to today.
I don't either, but sometimes it does.
Another short kickoff.
And who wants it from Canterbury? No one wanted it, and they got very lucky there. That ball could have bounced anywhere.
Albert, come on up now. Lock in, boys.
Vitae's back on the field for the Warriors.
Hands away, David.
Making the tackle. Here's Creighton almost bursting through.
Great run.
Jalen Graham is still on the field there, Mick, but he's not 100%. That's got to be of concern. And by.
Up now, David.
Hold! You
Locked
locked him
in.
in.
Locking in.
Milk
Moses,
it.
let him go.
Go.
Last one!
No,
Full
hands
Lolo.
away.
All the way! Hold!
Go.
Not late.
Now Templeman, just a little kick to get the ball into the in-goal area. They might have put a higher one up for Satua to test him, but Masadi will now play.
Hold!
Let's see what the Warriors have got here. Here's a strong run. Lenor, not sure he's got the pace, but it doesn't matter because they dived early, and Mason Lenor will score, and with the conversion to come, the Warriors will be in front.
We need 10.
Well, the Warriors here. This is the Warriors. Great run there from Fisatua. He's been so strong today carrying the football. And like all good halfbacks, Lenor, as he has done all season, pushing through the middle and scores under the black dot. And will get the opportunity now to put his side in front for the first time in a long time during this game. And the Warriors, that is the Warriors at their best, absolute best. Outside backs getting in, they're so big and strong and wonderful athletes. Come straight through the middle of the Bulldogs pack. Making a line break, comes to Templeton, summed it up beautifully. And a lovely little short ball to Lino, who races 60 metres to score a try under the post. And now gets the opportunity to extend it to 40-38. And as we said, we didn't think the points were going to dry up, did we?
No, they scored 58 last week, the Warriors. So they've scored, when he kicks this, 98 points in the last 2 weeks. And Mason Lenor takes him into third all-time in points scored for the Warriors in the Holden Cup, under 20s competition. 273 points for Mason Lenor, about to be 275. Sean Johnson leads on 412.
David Minnett's come to the sideline.
Yep.
Pat Moore making another injection into this game.
Who'd want to be a coach?
Mark, on nights like tonight, look at it. How good is it?
Would you want to be a coach, Mick? And there is the conversion, which is successful. Jeff Tuvey speaking with Matty Elliott. Who would want to be a coach? The head's on those two. Templeman brings it back. 2 points in front. Is that kick on half-time that hit the upright from Patrick Templeman going to come back and haunt the Bulldogs? At the moment it is. Here's Vitae.
Nice low tackle there from Fuka.
Solomone Carter.
He's been strong, Carter, hasn't he?
Moses. It's okay, milking.
You just stand.
Lolo here. It's Viliami.
Come on, 17.
10 short of halfway.
Locked in.
You're locking him in.
Fire, don't hold it.
There's Taylor. Different side with their 8, 9 and 10, the Warriors. Barner. They just rolled down the field like a different team. Last tackle.
Moses.
Tui Lolo here. That's got to be a penalty, isn't it? That is not what you want to see. There was no malice, but
We're gonna
he
put this on
dived
report
at the
too.
legs.
Number 11.
Adam Elliott.
No.
Hey, boys.
David Barner showing some leadership there.
Moses. 11.
11, down here.
Can't challenge that. Moses, bring 11. Moses, 11. Moses, 11. You can't challenge it.
What? There's no malice in that.
Because in the semis, they've changed it on certain things that you can and can't challenge.
Change the rules.
Moses, I'm just telling you, stand up, please. I'm telling you how it is. 11, it's on report. Chopping at his legs.
Hold the line, boys.
Well, big defensive set here from the Bulldogs. Real big defensive set. Their season's on the
There
line.
you go.
Hold! Go!
Vitae,
Stand up!
8 metres away.
Hold! Go!
I thought it was a massive set earlier for the Warriors defend when they couldn't to take Canterbury to a 34-16 lead.
Hold the line!
There's still 12 minutes to go, Mick. Vitae head down, he's over.
Clean up, boys.
44 points to 38, a kick to come. Albert Vitae gets try number 8 for the season for him and try number 8 for the night for the Warriors.
Well, we spoke about the injection, and these two men who have come onto the field in their second half have been outstanding. That one is Vitae, but the ball from Havili, isolating defenders close to the line. He's got all the momentum moving forward. The defenders standing still on their try line, too hard to stop the big man, and the Warriors extend their lead with a kick to come from close range.
Ten minutes, you would think would be remaining after Mason Lenor converts this try. Time for Canterbury, but have they got anything left psychologically? How would they be feeling after they led by 18 points in a final? And when he kicks this, Mason Lenor, if he does, it will be the highest scoring NYC final of all time. 82 points was the record, if you want to call it a record before that. This will make it 84 if he kicks it.
No wonder we're feeling like we've called 2 games.
Another one tomorrow. And there it is. Highest scoring NYC final ever. There is a Warriors fan here tonight.
Just let me know when.
46 points to 38. Hear the shout from the Warriors, watch the short. Do they go the short one here, Canterbury, or do they try and kick it over the dead ball line with a wobbly old kick like Templeman did last time? It's deep. It's over the dead ball line on the full. Well done, Albert Vitae. Smart play. And they're back to the halfway line. That was going a mile over the dead ball line anyway.
Well, he hasn't done much wrong tonight, Templeton. And unfortunately, that ball goes too long, and Vitae does a wonderful job.
He just got his foot down too.
Wait for the kick here, boys.
There's plenty of time on the clock. But the Warriors with all the momentum at the moment.
Wait for the kick. Hold, boys. Hold. Go.
Taylor.
Move now, 30.
Straight
Here,
up.
boys.
Hold.
At this stage, I think Canterbury can still win, Mick. But if the Warriors score in this set, I might have second thoughts.
Eight off the legs.
Here, boys.
Hold.
Remarkable game. 80 minutes of footy will be finalised in 9 minutes, and it'll take you 80 minutes to try and explain what happened. Vitae.
Help.
Havili out of acting half, and the ball is back to Vitae. Now Lolo here through his hands. Lenor. Taylor. Last tackle. You're just hanging on here, Canterbury. Lenor, can they get a repeat? Set into the hands, and I thought if it was anyone else other than Graham, they might have been able to go somewhere, but he can barely walk, Jalen Graham, at the moment, although he's a little bit better than he was. Is that a critical moment? Can they do anything here, Canterbury? Well, at the wrong end of the field, Creighton. You look at the referee to say, was that a shoulder charge? Elliott.
6, hands to 1. Hold.
Who will they look to here, Canterbury, to spark them? Can they come up with something?
Last one. Yeah.
A CSC, last tackle. Can they get a 40-20 here? Templeman, bounce important. Covered there from Fusatua. Can they force a mistake? Carter's back on the field. Lane has come from the field for Canterbury. For the Army, Lolo here through Perrott. Ankle tap to bring him to ground by Jalen Graham. That's the halfway line.
Hey boys.
Havili out of acting half again. Vitae to Ilolo here. They won't stop him from there. He will leak her with the pass on the outside to Solomon Akata, who has dropped it. I'm not sure why he passed it. He was stumbling, I know, but I thought he was going to score.
When he broke through here, I thought he was going to back himself and go to the corner.
Stay in there.
Oh,
Is that
Carter.
the moment?
Wow.
Stay bound, you can stand up. Stay bound, you can stand up.
Very good, mate.
Well, that was grand final there.
Absolutely.
Boys,
That was game over.
We are boys.
11. One.
But
Now
has
the
Canterbury,
Bulldogs,
has
well-
Canterbury got enough to score twice?
Well, we're going to find
Well,
out.
if they score once, they'll get a second win. But have they got enough to get down the other end?
Well, it's going to be a Graham, a Templeton,
give him a tunnel.
Minute, Lloyd Perrott, Silla. They've got to get the ball in the hands of those guys.
Play on.
Here comes Minute. No, Silla.
Move now.
Get up.
Got to go 85. He can't run. Graham. Here's Minute.
Line him up.
That doesn't help. Oh, that helps.
All over him.
I'm going to say that doesn't help that you're 5'8", can't run.
Still
But
going.
a penalty, is it found touch? It has. What a kick from Templeman. Wow. Don't tell me there's another twist in this tale. If it was a movie, you wouldn't believe it. And by.
And Boz moved back out of the centres and Carter's come back on.
Minute.
Hold that, hold. Hold that.
Nice tackle.
Stand up.
You getting the feeling here, Mick?
Hold.
I don't know.
It wasn't a great ball, but it's a chance. Templeman. Can he get on the outside? No good tackle to Ilolo here. There was no Christmas there from the Dogs. Lavave will play it. Carter. Now Feeney on his own. Just throws it away to Carter. Chance here though, a CSC. Creighton. Now Graham. The long ball over the head of Sealer. I don't think he needed to throw it. The Warriors are out on their feet defensively. And they may have panicked there, Canterbury.
Well, he saw the space, Graham, and knew what Silla could do if he just got the ball to him, but unfortunately, it had too many Weet-Bix on it and it's gone over the touchline. And now the Warriors taking plenty of time to get to this scrum, trying to slow things down. Some guys going down with cramp, understandably. It's been an end-to-end game of football.
Well, how long do the referees give them here? That's Albert Vitae. A knee injury, more than cramp maybe, and that may get the referees to stop. If it was just cramp, it'd say get up and play on, otherwise we're playing on.
Save it. You've got the ball. We're packing. Let's go.
Come back, 13. Yeah, mate, this way. I'll give you a go call, right?
That may have been the moment, Mick.
Hey, hang on, stand up.
It's been a game of moments, hasn't
Bend
it?
your backs. Give him a tunnel.
Hold, boys.
Hold the weight. Let's go, Mason. Let's
Hold
go.
there.
Hold the weight. Boys. Hey. Just relax. Time's still off. Don't push until we feed. Bend your back. Albert, arms up and over. Dave, just bend for me. In you go, Mason. In you go. Time on. Out. Yours.
Can they force an error here, the Bulldogs? Got to defend. Isn't that a good run from Tuilolo here?
And again, big men, outside backs coming into dummy half, making valuable metres for the Warriors.
Malu's back out there. The Villies come from the field.
Move now, 11.
And a penalty. against Canterbury. It may be enough as Vitae sprints from the field for the Warriors. Time off. We're going to have a challenge, I think. They might have to, or is it an injury? It's just the injury. And it was the last interchange for the Warriors with time to go. See, that's
he's made the ruling.
that's one area that has to be tied up. He can't challenge that because the referee said it wasn't a script, it was all over him.
Time back on.
Can someone explain how he's to get off the man in that instance? If he doesn't lose the ball, it's play on.
Line, boys.
The Warriors here have got a perfect opportunity to close out this preliminary final and get themselves a grand final berth. They just need to be patient, work to their spots, get through their set, try and dribble the ball in at the end of the set and get a repeat.
Ball here. A strong run. That is Sampson back on the field. Could play the ball. Here's Taylor. Here's a shoulder charge from Creighton. He should have been penalised. Malu. Lolo here. This to put the side in the grand final. You think this set, if they can score. Time is really running out for Canterbury. They need the footy. They need to be down the other end. Lenore. Taylor looking for a hat-trick. Still going, James Taylor.
Lock in markers. Hold the line.
Lenore to the line. Carter not played at, says the referee. Now they drop it back on the ground. Who wants it? Picked up by Fusatua. They still need a kick. They get it. And coming through is Natoa Hukatai to score to put the Warriors into the grand final.
Mel, we have tackle number 6. We have a try. Can you please just confirm grounding and onside?
Wow. The Warriors, they love this football. Flop it out the back. Someone scoops it up. And this time it was Fusatua, who has been absolutely outstanding today. And he just dribbles the ball in. He's onside. He comes through on the other side of Mbai and does a wonderful job and gets the football down. And unfortunately for the Bulldogs,
there it is. The try that will put the Warriors into the grand final against either Penrith or Canberra. Where do you start? This has been some sort of game. They led 16-0. They were down 34-16. They then hit back. Then they were behind. Then they came back. Extraordinary. 50 points to 38.
I feel for our boys. I know how hard they've worked and what they've gone through this season, and they've been tremendous. They have been tremendous all season, and there is a wealth of talent in that group. But the Warriors can do this to you.
Back-to-back weeks they've put on 50 points. It is extraordinary this time of the year.
And their success in the Holden Cup and in this under-20s competition looks like it's going to continue.
Well, they'd love to transfer that to the NRL as well. As Lenore adds another goal, they have scored 110 points in the last couple of weeks, the Warriors, after being awful against the Dragons and awful in the first half against South. They were down and out against the Rabbitohs and fought back. Well, they were gone tonight. They had no chance. 34-16. And they will be the first team to reach an NYC grand final 3 times. And John Ackland has been the coach on all of those occasions, and it will be his last game as coach of the under-20 side in a grand final, which I suppose is only fitting.
Shoulder charge.
Shoulder charge.
You confident?
What are you doing? Okay. Come here, Posse. I'll come through, mate.
So inside the final minute, it'll be the last set for the Warriors. And they'll be hoping that they don't get any injuries out of this set.
It's been strong, Carter. Since he's come onto the field, he's proved a real handful.
That one drop, how happy will he be that drop? They will look back on this game, the Bulldogs, wondering how they lost it. If buts and maybes. Marlu out of acting half. The pass from Graham to Silla wasn't great earlier. Barner kicking. I don't think there was much in that, and a knock on by Marlu.
Whoa. I've got time out. I have time out. Listen. Be very, very careful. Mel. This is going to be tackle 3. I have no try. Can you check for a possible penalty try with a kick out, with the kicker being taken out?
Yeah. No chance in the world David Barner was going to get there to score a try. It's David Barner, not Usain Bolt. It's not even a penalty.
No, that's just a 20-metre restart play on. Look, the Bulldogs, you know, it's been a tremendous game of football, and they need to keep their heads high. They've had a tremendous season. As for the Warriors, well, whoever wins tomorrow out of the Raiders and the Panthers will no doubt be doing plenty of video, because this side has some points in them, as we've seen. 50 points in both games over the last 2 weeks. And even when they're gone.
Shoulder charge is what they'll rule against. There's Jack Creighton there, more than likely. Yep, shoulder charge. That'll be a penalty. There's nothing in that. And it's a penalty in a preliminary final.
I'm really looking forward to that rule getting reviewed at the end of the season.
All right, so the penalty's about 5 out. Yep.
You're right, Mark.
Now, if I'm the Warriors, I take the 2 points on off.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, it's going to be no try. Moses, you want an explanation? It's going to be a penalty against you for a shoulder charge on the kicker. We're here. So you play the penalty and time back on. Hold the line here, boys. Hold the line here, boys.
Take 2.
It's been just a stunning game.
Mason.
There's John Ackland. What an achievement to get his team to a grand final for the 3rd time.
Phenomenal. There's so much goes into being an under-20s coach as well. Like, not only losing players, like, as they've seen, like Havili to New South Wales Cup, trying to promote them to get to first grade. We've seen players go on and play first grade out of the Holden Cup already this season. So there's so much to juggle along with their work and their studies. It's a tremendous achievement. Tremendous achievement. Along with the travel that the Warriors face.
I don't think we really appreciate that, because we don't have to do it. But every week they're going through customs, not just travelling interstate, they're travelling internationally, and they are into the grand final. The Warriors, for the 3rd time, will play in an under-20s grand final against either Penrith or the Canberra Raiders in one of the most extraordinary games you're likely to see. 54 points to 38 at full time, after Canterbury led 28-16 at halftime.